Very good morning. You with sports today. We like to start the day with you, and we like to start it with bringing you the top stories that you may have missed out on when you were getting some good night's sleep. So, without further ado, let's quickly get into the top stories of the hour that I have for you. I also have with me a copy, as usual, of the Hindustan Times, and I'll tell you what is it that's gone to the papers as well. The Mustafizur Rahman issue. Let's talk about that. It turns out a very credible report that has been filed by the Indian Express. Well, it suggests that that decision, in fact, to some of the BCCI officials as well, had taken them aback because they got to know it through the media. And this was a decision that had been taken by the government. The top officials at the government were involved, and that decision came right from the top as far as this whole issue was concerned. So even the BCCI wasn't quite aware of what exactly was happening, and one of the officials has now gone and said that they also learnt about it through the Indian media channels. So that's number one. But just more on that, this has just made things very difficult for the ICC now, with Bangladesh Cricket Board putting their foot down and saying that we're not going to be traveling to India. They stopped the broadcast of the IPL. That's fine. In that, the ICC is not required to step into that particular issue. Bangladesh can go ahead and decide for itself what it wants to be broadcast in its country and what it doesn't want to be broadcast. But as far as this whole issue is concerned, the ICC, everyone's looking at them now as to how is it that they go ahead and manage this situation. A quick word now on Steve Smith as well. What a good timing that I see from Anshu Mishra in terms of the comment as well. 37-10 test ton loading is what he says, and I totally agree. It looks like he's within touching distance. Before I went live, I checked that he was in his 90s. And yeah, Australia have already moved into a lead in this fifth and final test match of the series. Let's see where is it that it goes. We've lost some time because of rain, but it does look like you're heading in the direction of there being a result for this particular match as well. On the front of Neeraj Chopra, I have an update for you as well. It's made it to the paper also. Neeraj Chopra has started a new journey, that of entrepreneurship. You will see him now be represented not by JSW Sports as was the case till now. He started a long-term relationship with them, and you will now see him be managed by his own firm, which goes by the name Well Sports, spelled as VEL. So Well Sports is his initiative, and he's going to be represented over there. He's now going to be represented, managed by his own firm. Beg your pardon. As far as the NADA rules are concerned, we've seen a tightening of the rules. Remember, India are also looking at the Commonwealth Games in 2030, and now the pool is widening. We've shared those stories with you earlier on as well. Now two prominent names being added to the registered test pool, or the RTP as it's called. It's already widened. 347 athletes now in it. Of course, the biggest chunk of representation comes from athletics. But as far as cricketers are concerned, two prominent cricketers now being added to that particular pool. You've got Smriti Mandana, Jamie Rodriguez, two World Cup winners, two regulars as far as the Indian team is concerned. Both of them now part of this particular pool. Another update as far as that sacking of Ruben Amorim, the Manchester United manager, is concerned. Ruben Amorim, there's a dig that Magnus Carlsen, five-time world chess champion, he's now taken at the club. He follows the club in and out. In fact, I go back to recalling the time that he had sometime last year put out a tweet. I think it had come after United lost to Brighton. You were 10th, I think, in the league. Of course, finished 15th last year. But back then as well, Magnus had put out a tweet saying Amorim out, nothing more than that. But now he's responded to that tweet itself, and he said that that the realization has come a year too late as far as he is concerned. From what I'm learning about Ruben Amorim, another thing, of course, the higher ups were not particularly happy with that Wolves result, and the stubbornness on playing a back three, that seems to have irked the top brass. Of course, that story is here on in the Hindustan Times as well. What I see otherwise is yeah, some results of the boxing nationals that are happening. I've already told you what is it where things stand as far as Bangladesh barring IPL is concerned. We've touched on that story, and yeah, even the Hindustan Times saying over here that Bangladesh have added to the ICC's woes over here. Now everything's gone to the ICC corridors. It's for the ICC to now decide. With just about a month to go, if you were to ask me, you're looking at the start of the World Cup in a month's time, from exactly a month and a day, in fact, and maybe too short a notice now for the ICC to go ahead and make changes. For sure, there must be conversations happening now that one particular board has said that they don't want to travel to India and they want more matches moved out. That has completely changed the thing. But let's see where is it that story goes. We haven't heard the last of it. That is something I can tell you with a great sense of certainty. So for now, these were some of the stories that I had for you. Look forward to your company right through the day as well. Also on the dugout, where we will be discussing perhaps what's happening in India, Bangladesh right now, or perhaps if Steve Smith is to register the 37th 100. I read a very interesting piece. We'll try and sharing that link with you on how Joe Root has perhaps while he's done enough to get the record, to notch up the records and to score all those runs that he has, but the fact that he's got a visible weakness against somebody like a Bumrah, a Hazelwood, and a Cummins, where does that put him in the reckoning or in the ranking? That is something that we'll say. Okay, Devendra Pratap Singh pointing out to me right now. Well, thanks, Devendra Pratap. I don't have a television set working in the room that I am in right now. That Steve Smith has reached his 137th, if memory serves me right, as was pointed out by Anshu Mishra as well. Congratulations to Steve Smith. I think in this Ashes, it's been long time coming. He not always has given those signs right through the Ashes, but good on him. And the Australian fans will look at this as a cherry on top. The Ashes already belongs to them. A cherry on top, I believe, for Steve Smith and the Australian fans over there. More salt in the wounds, by the way, as far as England are concerned. One man that wouldn't have want to see score 100 against them is somebody who's troubled them a lot in the past, in Steve Smith. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me this morning for the wrap, and yeah, we'll be joining you right through the day as well with more news and updates. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Sports Today.